Hi guys, here with just some important information about our class moving forward and how we're going to be doing the work for algebra now that we don't have packets and not everybody has an access to a printer. So I just wanted to make sure that this information is clear for all of us and we're all on the same page. So moving forward, again, you guys won't have a packet. If you have a printer, then and you're able to print as much as you want, then you can go ahead and just print out the lessons every day and nothing about what we're doing has changed. So you print out your lesson, you complete your mini lesson, watch the video, complete the task, and then you turn everything in that you're supposed to be turning in for that lesson or that day. But for those of us who no longer have a packet and you don't have an access to a printer, I just want to point out some important things. So on my screen I have a sample Google Classroom class. It's not what you guys have. So when you come into our class, also this information is very important for those of you who are just joining us through Google Classroom. Maybe you just got your Chromebook yesterday, and you're just getting familiar with what we're doing here. So when you jump into our class, it should look something like this. Obviously, it has a lot more information than what I have on this sample class right now because we've been posting a lot every day or every other day. But on our stream, when you guys click on the stream, again, you'll find everything that we're posting day by day. Something that I wanted to point out for kids who have even already been working on Google Classroom is that the more I post, right, the more the things on the stream move down. So just because you don't find your classwork or your assignment as the very first thing that pops into your Google Classroom doesn't mean that you don't have an assignment that day, or that I haven't posted an assignment that's due maybe the following day or so, or in the next 48 hours. You just have to scroll up and down through your stream till you find the next lesson that you haven't assigned. But that's like the lazy way of doing it. The better way of doing it, if you don't find the next assignment, maybe where you just submitted lesson 7 and now you want to find lesson 8, but you see that Miss Trinidad just posted some other long video that now you can't find the lesson. The best way for you guys to do that, and I've said this before in previous videos, is to always use this classwork tab that you have here. Okay, if you're using a phone, it's just in the bottom. If you're using a computer, it's over here in the top. So just make sure you're taking advantage of that tab there, because that's where you're going to find all the important information. So if I click on that tab, I'm going to find my daily assignments. So here, clearly, again, this is a sample. It's not our actual algebra class, so I don't have anything more than what I'm using to show you guys in this video. But you can find your daily assignments, and they're usually in order. So like lesson 1 would be all the way at the bottom, and then the most recent lesson we're working on right now is lesson 9, and that would be all the way at the top. And then you'll find other important information. If you're just joining us for Google Classroom today, you should definitely get familiar with what you have here, because in the video tutorials you'll find how to use an online calculator, how to upload your work into Google Classroom and using a phone or a tablet, and just very important information that are going to help you get familiar with everything that we have here. So I'm going to pretend that I'm doing lesson 1 here, solving equations, the sample lesson. So I'm going to click on it because that's the one thing that Ms. Trinidad hasn't completed yet. And it will look like this if you in your own Google Classroom as a student. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click on view assignment, or I can click on, if you click on view assignment, it'll look like this little document, and it might look different if you're doing this on a phone. This is if you just got a Chromebook or you're working from a laptop, this is what it will look like. You're going to click on the document over here on the right hand side corner, and it's your own document. So I know I didn't do this at the beginning of the remote learning, but I will be doing this moving forward. So it's your own document. So you can type in here, you can insert pictures, you can highlight, whatever you want to do in this document, this is yours. So you can use it however you like. But the important thing that I want to do is the minute I open it is I want to look at this lesson name and the number, and I'm going to take, if I cannot print this, I'm going to grab an empty sheet of paper. Doesn't have to be printing paper, doesn't have to be pretty paper. It could be whatever piece of paper you can find that you're able to write on. And I'm going to write my name and the lesson number that I'm working on. Sorry, it's a little blurry in here, but basically I just wrote my name and the lesson that I'm working on. So Miss Trinidad and let's sample lesson number 1, just because that way when it helps you keep track of what you've done, and it helps us when we're looking at things to know what we're grading. Okay, and now I see that I'm looking at the mini lesson, and this is the problem in the mini lesson that I have to work on. I will be checking mini lessons moving forward. Okay, you're gonna see that in your mini lesson I'm gonna be adding extra problems and adding extra things that you're gonna be doing, that I'm going to be checking for when you are submitting your task. So it's very important that you're including your mini lesson as part of your work completion, otherwise it will be incomplete. So now that I'm ready for my mini lesson, I wrote down the lesson name, I wrote down that I'm doing the mini lesson. I'm gonna open up the video that I have to watch. So here's my video.
Today you're gonna get x by itself.
I'm listening to what Miss Trinidad is teaching me. We're getting x by itself. I don't have to write down, if it's a problem, like a word problem, I don't have to write down the word problem. I'm just gonna write down whatever information is necessary for me to do the work. Okay, I don't want to give you extra things to do. Also, for example, let's say this had a bunch of words there. All I'm gonna do is write down my equation, 2x plus 3 equals to 9. And then I'm going to continue watching as Miss Trinidad is showing me how to do the problem. Okay, I'm writing down what she's doing. My paper includes all that information. So my work looks exactly like Miss Trinidad's work. Okay, it doesn't look messy. It's not anything different. But now here's the important part. I just added another example to myself. I just added another example for me to do. So I want to make sure that I watch the video completely, because you don't want to miss out on points. You don't want to get incomplete grades just by missing maybe something because you paused too early or you didn't finish the whole video. So now Miss Trinidad is giving me another example to just quickly work out to make sure I know how to do the mini lesson. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on my paper. I can go back on the video and look at the problem again. Maybe I missed something. I can pause. Whatever you want to do with the video, as long as you're watching it completely. And now my first page looks like this. It's a little blurry. It has the mini lesson, the lesson. It has the lesson number, it has the mini lesson, and it has the second example that I've worked out on my own. So I'm going to put that to the side. Now I'm going to go back to the document that I opened, which again is mine. It would have your name because it's your own. And now I'm going to work out the task. So I'm going to do the problems, blah, blah, blah. I did number 1, wrote down my answer. I did number 2. Notice that number 2 is a multiple choice. I can't just say here, okay, the answer is B, and that's it. No, on your paper, you're going to show your work, whatever you did. And if you're using your calculator, then you're explaining how you use the calculator. You're not going to tell me I used y equals, or you're not going to tell me I put it in the calculator. What does that mean? What did you do in the calculator? How did you figure out the answer in y equals? You have to be specific, okay? So, for example, here's what my task would look like. Again, I have the lesson number, sample lesson number 1. I did my first problem. Here's my second problem. I showed some work. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. And I wrote down a sentence saying how I did my work. It says, the answer is B because I plugged 9 for X. And I put it in the calculator and it gave me the same thing on both sides. And you can write it in your own words, whatever you're trying to tell me, to prove to me that you did this on your own. Okay, so that's how you're going to show your work. Again, you don't have to write down the question. If you see on my task, I did not write down all the words. All I wrote down was the equation that I needed to solve. And then for multiple choice, I included my explanation. Even if it doesn't say, to include your explanation, you must include explanations for multiple choice. Otherwise, we are not marking it complete. Now, for those of you who have been working on Google Classroom, then all you have to do is take a picture of this with your phone or your tablet and turn it back in over here the same way you've done before. So add, it doesn't give me the option here because I'm on a laptop, but on your phone or a tablet, you can just add an attachment and continue from there on. If you are using your Google Chrome, you can insert pictures like these of your work in the actual document that you are writing on. And to do that is fairly simple. All you simply have to do is go to insert up here, image, and then camera. And voila, you have Miss Trinidad twice. And then all you have to do is take a picture of your work. If it's blurry and, for example, maybe I can't see it all the way back here, then you can do multiple pictures. You can take a picture of the first problem. So here we are. It's also better if you have something in the back so that it's not showing what's behind it. I'm taking a picture of the first part. You want to make sure also that we can read it, right? Because if we can't read it, we can't grade it. Took a picture, and now I'm going to insert. And there it is. And I can just click on it and use these blue dots to make it bigger or as small as I want. And then let's say I want to go back and insert the second part. Again, go to Insert, Image, Camera. Take a picture of the second problem. I should probably have done this in the morning and not now. Click on the picture you want to insert and then click insert, and again you resize it however you want to resize it. This is not the quality that I would want of the picture, just because I can barely read it, but it would be brighter if you do it in the morning or so, or just in a place where there's more light than what I have in here. And that's it. I include a picture of my mini lesson, both examples. I included a picture of my task with my work shown, and that's it. Again, you don't only have to do this if you're new to Google Classroom and you're using a Chromebook and you don't have anything else to turn in your work. But other than that, if you've been doing this with a phone or a tablet, then you continue to just add your attachments the way you do this, the way you've done before. This is also helpful if by any chance Google Classroom, the attachments thing is not working, which happen quite often. You can also try this way, and this way it should usually work. All right, so hopefully this helps. I know I just talked for a very long time, but this is information that eventually is going to help you. Those of you, again, who have just joined us in Google Classroom, please make sure you click turn in when you turn in your work, otherwise it won't notify us. And also please make sure you're using your classwork tab to look through the important information that we've posted. Bye.